Hi guys, as you can see, I'm actually here. I'm actually at Mike's house. For those who watched our last video, it was just me ranting along about how ill I am and everything else and why we can't always make videos. I still feel shitty today, but I feel better today than I have been doing for the past couple of weeks. So I'm here.
We're here. We're back.
So, this week what we're going to talk about, basically not long ago the rights and everything else went up for sale for Return of the Living Dead, Rave to the Grave.
Not a classic horror movie.
No, the original Return of the Living Dead was actually quite a good film. I think it was 1 and 2 that were good ones. I think Rave to the Grave's like number 4 or something like that. There is also another one where you can buy the rights to it as well, which is another shitty sequel. Rave to the Grave is just an awful, awful film. So Mike actually had the idea about asking what films we would buy the franchises of, what, you know what I mean, the rights to, what franchises would we buy the rights to,
and also what we would
reasons.
Yeah, also what we would do with them, and or why we would buy that particular franchise, and what we would do with them. I think that's quite an interesting thing to ponder, really. There's loads. There's too many probably that I would buy personally.
Which ones would you buy?
If we could do TV series.
Fair enough.
As well, I'd buy the rights to the Big Bang Theory and cancel it.
Yeah, fair. That's fair.
It's fucking your fault, Laurie. I tell you, shit. Cancel it now.
It is
just
shit
cancel
now.
it.
It used to be good.
It used to be amazing. It's been crap.
Absolute crap now.
It's a complete train wreck at the minute. You know, and I would buy it, and then I wouldn't even be interested in making a profit out of it.
Just cancel it.
I would buy it for
get rid.
For the millions of dollars that the rights would be worth. Then just cancel. If I had the money, then just cancel it. You know, I wouldn't even give a shit about any profits. I would just cancel it and take pleasure in cancelling it. So
TV show that I'd like to buy the rights to is firstly, I'd like to buy the rights to Breaking Bad, just because I'd want to make sure then that nobody could ever do an actual sequel to it, do another season. Obviously, I doubt it's ever going to happen anyway, but if I had the rights to it, I'd make sure that it's not going to happen for definite, because it's like, spoilers, at the end of Breaking Bad, Walter White, he dies. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and it's a wonderfully fitting ending.
Well, it's like, there are theories on the internet and videos of theories and whatever else saying like, oh, he didn't die, he was still alive.
He did.
It takes this long to die from that type of wound, and
he's stupid.
The police were there straight away. It's TV land. Real life doesn't fucking come into TV land like that.
You know, and whatever people predict,
it doesn't matter.
Gunshot wounds are really hard to predict because bullets bounce about inside people. I do not give a shit if someone said that particular entry wound, wouldn't kill him instantly. That's not, necessarily true. So get a life if you're saying that, and put some adult websites on and use your time on the internet doing that instead of...
Right, in my last video I was saying stuff like, find yourself a girlfriend, find yourself a boyfriend, treat them right. Mike saying, go watch porn.
Watch porn. Smoke crack.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah. I think if Matt was here, he'd definitely buy the rights to the Warhammer.
Yeah,
and he would definitely make some interesting Warhammer films, which I would also quite like to see. I know Matt's got a creative mind, so
yeah. Is it Warhammer? That's the movie.
That's out? Warcraft.
Warcraft. I'd get mixed up between them all. I'm not interested. As you can tell, I'm not interested.
Both shit, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. To me, they are. It's like with Matt. Fair enough. He's one of those people where he's got the patience to paint the little models and everything. Whereas I'm interested in some characters and stuff, but I'm not interested in.
Is Matt still in prison?
Painting stuff. Matt's not actually in prison. I don't even know where that came from.
I heard that he fucked a car exhaust.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
Sure.
Sorry, Matt, for that. I'm sure you'll have a laugh at it though. But
I buy the rights to the Halloween movies,
yeah.
and then so Rob Zombie couldn't make any more.
Fucking hell, yeah. That's the thing. Halloween 3 is coming out, isn't it? Eventually. And another Friday the 13th is coming out eventually. Both of which I'm worrying if they're going to be any good. Friday the 13th. I'd probably buy the rights to Friday the 13th purely because every single Friday the 13th is pretty much the same fucking film.
It's quite depressing that a lot of the things I'd buy the rights to would be solely so I could cancel them. I would love to have the rights to the Call of Duty franchise so I could bury that game.
Yeah, so would I.
But I think in all seriousness, there's some films I think that I would be interested in buying the rights of. Singular films as well. Like I'd buy the rights to Let the Right One In again, so no one could make a sequel to it. But I think for me, there's always these sort of staple franchises that I would love to buy, like Alien, and get it on the right track. Even just buy Alien and let Neil Blomkamp do his sequel.
Yeah.
And not let...
For fuck's sake, Ridley, what are you doing? People didn't like Prometheus. Fair enough, there are a few that do like Prometheus. But the majority of things that I've actually read say it's crap. I thought it wasn't the best. It was an alright film, but it was shit to what Alien was. And then doing a new trilogy based on Prometheus that leads up to the first Alien film. Just let fucking
I've got no issue.
Alien 5 happen.
I've got no issue with Ridley Scott doing another trilogy. If he wants to do that, if he wants to, waste his time doing that, fair enough. But the issue I've got is that it's going to push back Neil Blomkamp's film, as you said.
Yeah.
Unless we get
that's
a fucking miracle.
The one thing that I'm annoyed at.
Unless we get a miracle and Ridley Scott dies in the next few months.
That's really not a nice thing to say.
We don't get the trilogy to...
He doesn't mean...
Prometheus. I do. Prometheus. Or we don't get the sequel to Blade Runner.
We don't really want the sequel to Blade Runner.
So...
Obviously, this is going to be a...
I don't want you to die, Ridley. Please don't die.
No, you don't want to.
Retire.
Yeah.
Retire with all your money.
That'll do.
And young women and just...
Have fun.
Watch adult movies again and just...
If you want,
have fun.
Make a new trilogy for Prometheus.
We'll make it for you.
Keep it for yourself. But and that's exactly what I'd do. It's the obvious choice for me. If I could get In the Mouth of Madness rights from John Carpenter, or I think it was Michael DeLuca who wrote it. I think it was him. I could be wrong, but if I could get the rights for that, I would. Purely because I would make my own sequel and never release it. If I could just write the sequel in my head, I'd just write it out, get him to film it, I'd hire Sam Neill, I'd do all of this, and then I'd make it for myself. Same with Cabin in the Woods, I'd make a sequel and never release it. Just for my eyes only.
I'd buy the rights to that film that's John Malkovich is in at the minute. That's
that stupid one.
But they're open in 100 years' time.
Yeah.
And just burn it.
Fucking ridiculous. What was it?
Set it on fire.
I really don't see the point in
No, I won't tell anyone. I would leave a funny note for the people in 100 years' time.
Well, we had a film to be released for you, but we've destroyed it.
A naked picture of me sat on a beach
next to John Malkovich.
Next to John Malkovich.
Naked.
Probably like photobombing him.
Yeah.
It might be a crime, maybe. John Malkovich on the beach, me naked, taking a selfie with him.
It'd have to be a nudist beach, wouldn't it?
Have to be a nudist beach. I'm not sure if John Malkovich frequents nudist beaches.
No idea. You'd probably You'd probably just send him letters and be like, yeah, you've got to come to this beach to meet me, and Mike could do a whole elaborate plan pretending to be a new woman in his life and try to make him fall in love with him, and then meet him on a beach just so then he can see Mike naked in a photo behind him to release in 100 years. I just don't see the point in that film whatsoever.
I'd probably
Really?
buy the rights to, in all seriousness, I'd buy the rights to Children of Men, because that's probably one of my favourite movies
Never seen it.
of all time. And I would actually want to write a sequel to that film. I think it was perfect as it was, but I think it's a film that, you know, could possibly benefit from something else. A lot of it's weird. A lot of the films that I like are quite often singular films that, you know, I always say are perfect as they are. Blade Runner, unfortunately, not a singular film anymore, but like Let the Right One In, like Children of Men, It Follows. They're the sort of the films that, you know, I would say are up there on my list, and a lot of them are singular films. So I think it's hard for me because I'm not generally all in favour of remakes. I'm generally not all in favour of making pointless sequels. So I think for me, a lot of the films that I would, you know, buy would just simply be singular films, and then just to protect them from being tampered with.
Yeah.
Really, I think there's obviously, as I said, Alien, but a few franchises that I would love to buy. You know, joking aside, I would love to.
Sorry about the tapping, by the way.
Sorry, that was my
Mike just knocked the microphone.
No, I would love to make my own film in the Alien franchise, or you know.
No, yeah, it would be. It'd be interesting to actually do something like that. It's like I'd like to buy the rights to Cube, so then I could get the sequel that was originally, I think, was it Vincenzo Natali that did the Cube film? I could be getting him mixed up with someone else, but I believe it was him, and that he did Splice as well. I believe it is. I could be wrong. I'm full of useless knowledge, but that knowledge is sometimes incorrect. But yeah, I'd buy the rights to Cube because he did a sequel to it himself, a short film that he never released. It's for his eyes only, which basically shows what the Cube actually is and who's running it. And obviously not going down the government route or anything. People know that originally it was going to be aliens because there was a scene in it. Well, there was meant to be a scene in it where they found some sort of alien artifact, but that never saw the light of day because people thought, well, it's going to straight away show it's aliens. It's not going to be like, oh, there's a big mystery behind it. So he kind of kept it to himself, and then kept this short film sequel to himself as well, which shows the actual truth behind it. He's teased about it before, but I don't think he'll ever show it. And saying about stuff like that as well, going on to music, just this one moment, I'd also buy the rights to Him's very first album, because Ville Valo, I apologise if I said that wrong, has got their first ever album on his laptop or computer, like on a hard drive somewhere, that nobody has ever heard other than him, his close friends and family. And I want that fucking music. That's pretty much it though, really.
You know, I think for me, I would love to. Obviously, I would buy the rights to PT.
Yeah.
That goes without saying. We would want to see PT. I would buy the rights to the TV rights to Constantine. Save Constantine.
Yes.
It was rumoured to be maybe appearing in Legends of Tomorrow as well.
Yeah. And also the film.
But it won't be with Matt. What's it called?
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan, won't it? It'll be with. I read somewhere that'd be, you know, potentially someone like Colin Farrell.
I hope it's Matt Ryan.
I would prefer it to be Matt Ryan.
Wherever Constantine shows up next, I hope it is Matt Ryan. He didn't get the character down perfectly, but he got it down as close as I think anyone could really do it.
No, I think.
Sorry, just quickly.
He deserves another crack at it.
The one thing that annoyed me about Constantine was that in every single episode, he never fucking put his tie on properly. And it's like, in the comics, fair enough, he doesn't put his tie on properly, but he does sometimes. And I think that is the only thing that actually annoyed me about the show, where it was like always down here, just dangling, and I'm like, just pull the fucker up. that is honestly the only thing that annoyed me. But yeah, I agree, he does deserve a second chance. The show deserves a second chance, definitely. Another franchise that I would buy is Nightmare on Elm Street, because I love them films. The remake was shit. Well, I didn't really like number 5, but I've loved every other film of Nightmare on Elm Street, even the more shittier ones. I've still really enjoyed them all. It was just number 5. I think the reason why I don't like number 5 as much is because when I was a kid, I had a big thing about things making me feel sick. And whenever I saw food around people's mouths,
Dog shit,
shit, you know, just shit. What shit actually has to have a shit? Yeah, whenever I saw anything like that, though, like Bodger and Badger, could not watch it. I was nearly sick. Do you even remember Bodger and Badger?
Yeah.
I honestly was nearly sick. It was just like mashed potato everywhere, all over the faces and everything else. I was just always like, and there's one scene in Nightmare on Elm Street 5 where it's all makeup and stuff, obviously, but it's like she's got real fat face because she's been eating a load, and she's got food all over it. And ever since I first watched that film, every time I see that scene now, it just sort of brings back the horrible memory of me just retching at it. So I'm like, yeah, I don't really like that one, but I still love the rest of them, and I hated the remake. So I would love to buy the rights to that, to make sure it doesn't get remade again. That we can't have someone else taking over Freddy Krueger. I think Jackie L. Haley did a great job as Freddy Krueger, but he had a really fucking shit script to work from. I think that was the problem. And also, no one can beat Robert Englund as Freddy, obviously. What about comic books? Are there any comic books you'd like to buy? Like, just obviously not like saying Batman as a whole, but like particular stories. I'd love a Court of Owls proper movie. I just think it would be quite decent, and apparently Court of Owls are actually coming into Gotham soon.
Ooh, I think it's tough because I would love to sort of make a decent Suicide Squad movie, and I'm really kind of worried that we're not going to get one when they release the upcoming movie.
I'm hoping it will be good.
You know, they've said it's going to be more family friendly, haven't they? It's going to be. They've released it US rating. I think it's going to be.
It's not going to be a 12 or something, is it?
I think it's going to be like a PG-13, which is the American
Seriously?
version. Yeah.
The fuck are you doing?
I might be wrong.
Why?
I might be wrong.
If it's PG-13, Jesus Christ, you've really fucked up there. It should be an 18, like the Deadpool film's going to be, because then it can have all of what it should be: action, death, fucking blood, guts, boobs, whatever else. It's like Margot Robbie's not exactly afraid of getting her boobs out, is she? Watch Wolf of Wall Street, you see that. But I don't think it'd work as Harley Quinn getting her boobs out.
But the thing is,
but you know what I mean.
You know, really, it kind of is at the very limit of the sort of more mature DC comics. Obviously, it's not a Vertigo comic, but the Suicide Squad and the sort of the relationship that Harley and the Joker have, and also the other members of the team, it really should have been a more
adult film.
Yeah, mature movie. But I just
Joker beats Harley around in the cartoon even, and stuff like that, and I
just kind of think that DC may well have backed out of it a bit. And
I've said it before, and I'll say it again: the DC animated movies is what you need to watch, because they're better than any of the live action movies, even the Tim Burton Batman.
So I really enjoyed is it Assault on Arkham Asylum?
Assault on Arkham with the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. animated movie. And I'd probably enjoy that more than I'll enjoy the
It's a lot of
Suicide Squad
people's,
movie.
what I've seen, because obviously we're doing reviews and stuff. I know quite a few different reviewers, and other reviewers that I've spoke to that have actually seen that film have said it's one of, if not their favourite animated DC movie. Mine is Flashpoint Paradox.
Mine's a Flashpoint Paradox. Mine's not Assault on
Is that
Arkham.
the actual title of the film?
Yeah, it's a Flashpoint
Yeah,
Paradox.
that's fair enough then.
Whereas I actually really enjoyed Assault on Arkham. I felt that'll probably be better than we get with a Suicide Squad movie. And I just worried at what DC are doing with it. I would like to buy the rights to that and make a proper Suicide Squad film. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't make it over the top. Like, it's still a DC comic, but I think it would have to be at least a 15. It would at least have to contain the adult themes that the comic books did.
Yeah.
Also, because to be fair, Batman was a pretty adult comic as well, really. Obviously, there was plenty of Batman was camp and fun and silly, but there was also a really adult dimension to that, which the Dark Knight movies tried to replicate, maybe, or did replicate,
but for some reason decided to make it more real world than anything else, which to me ruined it.
Yeah, if I was going to make a Suicide Squad, I'd make it mature, but I'd also make it stupid. Yeah, I would have like a...
It still needs to be comic-y and cartoony in a way.
Like, I would have an over-the-top Killer Croc. Like, I wouldn't have the very humanoid Killer Croc that they've got. I would have a fucking walking crocodile. I would... obviously not, but a lot more reptilian than
what they're doing in the new film.
Because to be fair, the Arkham...
They do need to...
The Arkham games, I think, nailed it perfectly. It's easy with it being a game, but they were quite mature games. Or they were mature games.
No, I think...
But they were...
Is it Asylum and City are both 15s, and then Knight's an 18? So it's straight away that's more adult than what the Suicide Squad movie is going to be. To be honest, with them giving it a low rating like that, I am quite surprised they're actually still calling it Suicide Squad.
I'm surprised no one on the PC brigade. Not that I've got an issue with things being politically correct, but I'm surprised that no one's had an issue with them calling it the Suicide Squad. But, well, that'd be their, that'd be their opinion. I'm not gonna tell them they're wrong, but it's a name of something, so I think it should be kept that way.
Yeah.
Obviously, it is kept that way. There's no debate about it.
That's the whole point behind the Suicide Squad.
They were effectively a team that were meant to destroy the Justice League, effectively, and were meant to be a team that were gonna die doing it. They were going on a suicide mission.
And then basically every mission they do is either a suicide mission again, or they manage to succeed and then they just get locked away again. So it's just... That's pretty much their whole thing. So obviously that's got to be the name for them. No, I would love the Court of Owls though as a film. I think that would be really good. And Endgame as well. Some of the most recent Batman comics. I would love either an animated film or a live action film of that to come out as well, because it was actually really, really decent.
Hello? You alright? What? Right? Oh, where's that? I ain't got a clue where that is. Yeah. Yeah, I can take a screenshot of a map or something and then send it to you. We're just recording the video. It's alright.
Sorry, we'll do a jump cut.
One sec. Go on then. Hello? Oh.
I say we'll just do a jump cut, Mike. Don't worry. Have you actually read Endgame?
No. Yeah, it's always been planned for PG-13.
Should we start again now, or are you
No, I need to.
ringing her again? Right, okay.
Should have lost signal. Hello? Oh, right, that's good then. Yeah, you can, and hopefully you'll get there on time. You can do if you want more time. Oh, no, don't. I'll be asleep then. Why not? I didn't know you were there tonight. Oh. Oh, right. Well, they'll text me when they can, but obviously I'll be in bed before then. No, that's fine. Yeah. No, I won't worry. But you know, I'll probably just text you saying I'm going to bed at the normal time. Yeah, because obviously I'll probably wake up and see. All right. Yeah, still text me that you got home, but I'll let you know when I'm going to bed and stuff. But then just text me when you get back. All right. All right. You too. Bye. Bye. What a fucking useless twat. Cut that bit out.
Should we record again from now, or?
Yeah, I'm not sure where we got to though.
Well, I was just about to start about Endgame.
We can start about Endgame again if you want.
Sorry, just quick jump cut here. Mike's phone was ringing and it was important, so he had to answer it. But yeah,
it was negative. It was a clinic.
Basically, what I was just about to say was Endgame. Very adult storyline, and spoilers here. I'm really sorry, Mike. I'm going to spoil it for you.
I know what happens in it.
Basically, Batman and the Joker die at the end.
No.
But they don't actually die, because what it is this is sort of a similar thing to the Lazarus Pit. This like liquid stuff basically rejuvenates and makes them practically immortal.
Makes them, in the words of Atomic Kitten, whole again.
What?
In the words of Atomic Kitten, it makes them whole again.
Yeah. But and basically, like, the new storyline of the Batman comics, Bruce Wayne has come back, but he's completely lost his memory about ever being Batman.
And he's getting married.
I actually didn't know that part. And Jim Gordon
Spoilers.
is now the new Batman. So obviously the Joker is going to make a reappearance eventually. Whether he's got the same memories or not, we'll find out. And then in the other side of things, for the Justice League and stuff like that, Batman's just become a god and he's found out who the Joker really is. So I'd love to get the rights to both them stories and make decent animated films, or live action films if I could find the right actors.
I would prefer animated movies.
I'd prefer animated.
You can kind of make animated movies
make them
darker in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I kind of think if you
can get away with a lot more.
You can get away with a lot more, but yeah, I was going to say, you know, I think the censors tend to be a lot more harsh on live action films, and also, you know, they really obviously would own the rights, so it wouldn't matter what DC thought, but they seem to be really a bit cagey about making an actual adult comic book movie. Whereas obviously, as I said, you know, Marvel are even though they don't directly own the movie rights to. Is it Sony that have got them?
Fox.
Fox, not Sony. Sony X-Men or not Fox?
I think X-Men's Fox. Avengers is Marvel and stuff like that.
Sony have the rights to someone, don't they? Or is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. What am I talking about?
Spider-Man.
Maybe.
And then I think it's Fox that has the rights to X-Men and stuff. Again, we could be wrong.
Anyway,
this is just purely like, is it this? Is it that? We don't know.
Anyway, you know, Marvel is, well, there's still going to be a very adult Marvel movie that is going to be amazing.
I think Sony's got rights to Spider-Man, but yeah, this is the thing. Again, as we've said before, the Marvel live action movies are always better than the DC live action movies, whereas the DC animated movies are always better than the Marvel animated movies or series. But
I kind of think that DC are a bit less daring when it comes to the live action stuff.
yeah,
I kind of think they won't really take risks with. Even the Dark Knight series, which a lot of people said was sort of more adult and more risky, it really wasn't. It was, movies have slowly become more gritty, and it really was very much within the times. I think the Dark Knight series to be like it was. If they made it stupid and camp and funny, that'd have been a hell of a lot more risky than making it gritty, and arguably making it funny and camp.
I still prefer Batman Begins out of the trilogy.
I think Batman Begins is my favourite of the trilogy.
I think that's the only one I actually really like.
Only because big fan of Cillian Murphy.
Cillian.
See, I've always called him Cillian Murphy, but he calls himself.
I always thought it was Cillian.
No, it's Cillian. It turns out.
Cillian.
So I was watching an interview with him.
That's a villain's name in itself.
Yeah, Killigan. Yeah, what, Ian Beale. It could be like it could be an EastEnders villain, couldn't he?
Cillian Beale.
Be shit name though, wouldn't it, if you call Cillian? Everyone would know what your plan was. Who are you, Cillian? And yeah,
It was like real long fucking, as like soaps do, real long story about who killed Ian Beale. Well, I wonder, maybe it was Cillian, you know. But anyway, yeah, I'd love the rights to
I like
stuff
him.
like that.
I love the Scarecrow.
Yeah,
I like Liam Neeson.
yeah.
So all them things were pretty on point.
The one thing
For
about
me.
Liam Neeson that I don't like recently
Can't do an accent.
is, well, it's not that. It's just
85 Taken films that he's done.
he plays the same fucking character in everything now. It's like at one point he played stuff like Darkman. He played a priest in one film. Don't know what film. Can't remember.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
He played Qui-Gon Jinn. He played
Schindler's List.
He played Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, depending on your pronunciation.
Paul.
Now it's basically like you said, taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 12, 15.
There was that film called
etc.
Unknown or something, that was basically just
Something
a
like
fucking
that,
rip-off
yeah.
of Taken with him in it.
Yeah, and then it's like non-stop. He basically plays the same character again. I think there's a new film coming soon where he basically plays the same character again.
There'll be like another non-stop film. Then there'll be a film called Non-Stop when he's trying to chase someone that's kidnapped his kid. Another Taken storyline, but called
Another
Non-Stop. Yeah, and then there'll be another. You know, anyway, I love Liam Neeson, but it's a bit typecast at the minute.
Very typecast.
Very, yeah, but
I'd buy the rights to Liam Neeson.
I'd buy Liam Neeson.
Just change everything he fucking does, so then he can actually do
He's a good actor, though. He's a
decent
good actor.
characters again. Yeah, he's a good actor. It's just the characters are just fucking.
But I like Batman.
I've got a certain set of skills, and I'll kill you.
I want to see Liam Neeson in better stuff, in more diverse stuff, and I like Batman Begins. Do you want to see him a mask?
What?
It's a Batman Begins, isn't it?
I was just thinking. I thought you were actually
you wanna see
asking them
my-
if you want
I
to
was.
see a mask.
I was. Do you want to see my mask? And he puts it on and is like...
That was a creepy voice.
The Scarecrow was always
Do you
my
wanna see
favourite.
My mask.
The Scarecrow was also always my favourite. Probably my favourite DC villain, actually.
I always changed. I've never had a full
I've not really. But
favourite. It's always been a mix between the Joker and the Riddler. I have loved some Scarecrow stories. I've loved the story behind Mr. Freeze. I've always just... But it was always between the Joker and the Riddler when I
wonderful thing
when I started reading Batman.
About DC, and also about, more than anything, the Batman and his rogues gallery. Some of the Z-list rogues are really, really, really interesting. Ones like Calendar Man, and even the smaller rogues are interesting. I would like to maybe do something with the lower list. Him, Clayface, fucking ventriloquist.
The blanket dude.
I don't know what it's called.
I can't remember his name. I did know it, but I really can't remember.
No, the crappy Batman villains. I would love to do.
The one with a really weird name as well that no one can really pronounce.
No.
There are some weird Batman villains out there.
And I would like to do, buy the rights to them specifically, or maybe the Batman, and just do a new series.
Of another film or whatever of the same fucking thing. Like in Gotham, for example, it's like season 2, Rise of the Villains. We've seen a female Firefly, which I believe is either the mother or sister of the Firefly in Batman. We've got Jerome, which is basically the ideology of the Joker, and he's not the actual Joker. We've got Mr. Freeze is coming in the second half, but we don't know if it's going to be the original Mr. Freeze or if it's going to have the Nora storyline or anything like that. I can't even remember who else we've had. We've pretty much all of them that have been quite big villains in stories. I think the only one that hasn't, that I can think of, Electrocutioner, I think that's his name. And he was only in one episode. So
I suppose like Arrow's obviously bringing in the Hawkman and the Hawkgirl.
Yeah, Hawkgirl and they're bringing.
And obviously then there's going to be the Legends of Tomorrow, that's going to focus on sort of lower list superheroes. But I would quite enjoy to see whether it be a comic book series or whether it be an animated series or whether it be again a movie about some of the more interesting and quirky Z-list villains.
Yeah, I would prefer to.
I would love to see a Batman 66 animated series as well.
That'd be really interesting, especially if the
Adam West is still, and him and Burt Ward are still very much alive and well.
Yeah.
So I would love to see, because obviously there's an amazing Batman 66 comic book with with amazing artists. I'm sure they could contribute. I would like it more like a cartoon than an actual. What I'm trying to say is I'd want it to be a bit more kind of still, obviously a bit more silly, but a bit more, I would say cartoony, but we're talking about animated things, aren't we? Anyway, I would love that.
I think I get what you're saying.
A Batman 66, funny, camp, silly, animated series.
I'd love to see another animated series of the 90s Batman as well.
Yeah.
Just keep it as it was, really, but just make more of it. Instead of Batman Beyond or Batman of the Future, whichever you call it.
Mark Hamill.
Wherever you're from in the world. Mark Hamill.
Get him as a Joker.
Get him back as the Joker. He's now playing the Trickster in The Flash.
Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. And he's not a bad guy. He is not going to be...
He's not a bad guy.
A Sith. He's in hiding. Well, I don't know if he is in hiding, but...
He is in hiding, probably.
He's basically just chilled out in a cave somewhere.
Probably smoking a bomb.
Having a spliff. Yeah, just...
Nothing else to do for 30 odd years, has he?
He's turned his lightsaber into a bong, like with what they did. What Kevin Smith did.
They reckon
he's Silent Bob Strike Back.
He's probably guarding something. Some people think he could well be guarding an ancient Sith tomb or something. He could be guarding anything. He's just not gonna be evil.
Yeah, I really doubt he's gonna be a bad guy.
I don't need to rant again, but episode 6 was really the story of Anakin's redemption and Luke's temptation. Yeah. There's no way they would fulfill a temptation storyline and then just say, actually, just sack all that off and sort of in the 30 years that succeeds it.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have him turn to the dark side. It's not gonna happen. And we might have an early, not an early review, but a pretty quick review of The Force Awakens. So I'm going to the midnight showing on the opening night. So
if Mike can be asked, he'll write a review for it. I won't be, because obviously being ill, I can't bloody order tickets and stuff because I never know how I'm going to feel on the day. I'm just hoping it is a good film, and I'm hoping that J.J. Abrams doesn't end up becoming Jar Jar Abrams and ruining the whole thing.
At least Damon Lindelof isn't teaming up with Abrams again. So.
I think that's it from us, guys. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.